The method to scale to your first million is really simple, and I wholeheartedly think that. Now, I'm not going to say it's easy, but the method and system itself is. The hard bit is sticking with it and sticking with it long enough to start seeing those results. And I'll be honest, I have no idea how long it's going to take you to get your first million. You know, there are too many external factors for me to even try to tell you that. You know, I don't know if you can't read. I don't know if you can't speak English and you're watching this with subtitles. You know, you might even be watching this from a prison cell, in which case it might take you a little bit longer. But I can show you the method, right? So in the next 10 minutes, let me explain exactly how I got my net worth to $1 million plus liquid, and how you can do the same in as simple terms as possible, so much so that if you don't follow it, you're gonna feel a bit silly not to. And this is actually the same method every single millionaire has ever used to get rich. You know, ignoring those lottery winners and the crypto pundits, you know, we're not gonna count them, but this is the same method every millionaire in existence has used. So let me just show you, and I'm gonna do this quite simply. So this is, let's just say this is you, and you might earn 5K a month. You know, that could be a regular job, and this is your box. And on this side is me on a much bigger box, but I'm the exact same as you. I'm nothing special. We look the exact same, we act the exact same, and I think I make around 250K a month now, revenue. That's not profit, that's revenue. And we're the same. The only difference between me and you is the boxes, you know, we're standing on. And your box is full of your skills and the skill sets you have. And this is my box. And essentially, like, all I've done different to you is I've worked on acquiring more and more skills, leadership, team building. I've acquired all these skills that has enabled me to ultimately make more money. And, you know, these aren't just skills. This could be, you know, experiences. You know, I've traveled a fair bit. I've met some expensive, it's not what I wanted to write. Some interesting people. This is where I expose myself for being dyslexic. You know, experiences that could be failures. Now, I failed a hell of a lot in the last few years. Even in the last year, I failed a lot. All it comes down to is, yeah, skills, experiences, failures, lessons, and maybe like my drive just might be more than yours. The vision might be clearer. You know, I might have a clearer vision, and that's why I'm, you know, able to make more than you. The thing is this doesn't happen overnight, right? Like, I didn't suddenly go from having a box the same size as yours to a box as big as mine. At one point, I was making, let's just keep the guy looking the same, because I want you to appreciate that we are all the same here. I was at this stage making 0 at one point. Then I made the 5, and then as time progressed, I learned a little bit more, and I was able to earn a little bit more. And as time progressed again, I was able to earn a bit more. As I learned and built more lessons, had more failures, had more experiences, put more time into learning these skills. So much so, and the reality is, like, it didn't even look like this. It probably looked more like this, like slow progression of time and all these different periods of my life that have now enabled me to get here. It really did take that long, and the only difference is the time and energy and effort I'm putting in, and that's kind of the next thing I really wanted to touch upon. You know, on top of all these skills, experiences, failures, and lessons that go into these boxes, always has to go time, energy, plus effort, right? If you don't put time, energy, and effort into these things, and you're not willing to do that over a prolonged period of time, for a consistent time, again, you know, you might as well just click off this video, because each of these boxes might take you years. And I'll be honest, like, throughout my journey, and if you've watched some of my other videos, you know that, like, my first 2 years, I made no money. And all of these boxes, yeah, they might take you years. So my first box, again, here I am, no different to you, of making 0, was actually more like this. And this is $0, right? And this took 2 years, right? And only then did I go up to making, you know, $4 or $4,000. And that sort of took me 6 months. And then because of these 2 years and 6 months, or 2.5 years, I then was able to scale to 10 relatively quickly. And then of that 10, I then went on to do 100 pretty quickly after. But it's whatever happened within these blocks that really enabled me to get there. You know, I was learning sales, I was learning marketing, I was failing so much. I was losing clients, I was sending out countless emails, I was doing all this work thinking, you know, I'm gonna get there, and nothing ever happened for, you know, 2 years plus. And the thing is as well, and I'll be honest, like I wasn't consistent as well within this time period. So really, if I had been consistent and I locked in, and that's kind of what happened here. This period, I was so consistent for a 6 month period that I was able to make that money in such a short amount of time. This whole 2 years was really like 2 weeks, and then maybe a month of being consistent, and then maybe another 2 weeks, and then maybe I had a really motivational day, and then I went on and did another stint, and I realized I wasn't getting anywhere, so I went and did nothing. Like, it was so inconsistent that it did take me so long, and I wasn't focused on the skills, I wasn't focused on learning for the long term. And that's the next point I really want to raise, is it's so important to work smarter and not harder. You know, so many people get caught up in the thinking they need to make money fast. You know, the world is coming to get you, the Matrix is going to strike another attack, and you know, if you don't have 1,000,000 gold bars in your fridge, you're gonna die. You know, why don't you have a Lambo yet? You know, everyone else has Lambos, why don't you have a Lambo? Like, there's all this rhetoric online that is just thinking, I need to make money now, I need to make money yesterday, and I'm gonna have to find a really quick way to do it, and it's really unhealthy. And it's why industries like trading, crypto, and gambling are so big. You know, they feed into this burning desire to get the instant results, where that is rarely the case. You know, a lot of people that get into these industries and try these things actually never have any success with them, and they're just back at square one. And I had my own examples of this. You know, I tried, the first business was Amazon. The next business was agency for a little bit, right? And then I went on and did drop shipping. And then I went on and did property. And then I went on back to the agency. So if we look at these boxes, here's my little Amazon box. Here's my little agency box. Here's my dropshipping box, my property box, my agency box again. I sort of tried the Amazon thing, not agency. I tried the Amazon thing, and then I kind of fucked it up. I gave up. I didn't bother. So we're just left with this messy pile of whatever, waste of time. Agency again, messy pile, right? Dropshipping, messy pile. I never scaled to the next stage because I just kept picking these things up and dropping them, trying to make money fast. Property, messy pile. Agency, when I revisited, then I started building these blocks and actually getting somewhere, because I stuck with it for a long period of time, and I actually started thinking long term, right? I stopped thinking in such short term increments. And if you stop thinking about making a quick couple $1,000s, or you know, your first 10K month, and you started really thinking about how you're gonna make millions over the next 10, 20 to 30 years, your whole paradigm and thinking pattern will shift, right? And you'll start making decisions that are gonna serve you. You know, if I'd thought about my goal now, which is making at least 100 million in my lifetime, I wouldn't have started the Amazon business, right? Or I'd have stuck with the Amazon business to get there, because I was thinking long term. And if I'm honest, you know, I don't know how I'm gonna get to that 100 million yet, right? I know it's probably gonna involve a sale of a company, maybe a couple, but I have no idea how I'm gonna get there. And I don't know what that company would do. I don't know what it would sell. I don't know, you know, how I'm even gonna start it. But what I do know is that everything I'm doing now, everything I've been doing to get to here, to get to this bit, is gonna play into that 100 million picture, right, in the future. So it's getting me closer to that goal. It's getting me smarter, it's getting me wiser to achieving that. And I'm building my blocks brick by brick, right? And the one thing, again, just to emphasize this again, this is my 250K block, super, super small. And the 100 million, here's just the corner of it, right? This is 100 mil. this is just the corner of it. Now, that could be so far away, and there's so many other blocks that need to happen, and things that need to go on, and skills I need to learn, and people I need to meet, and business ideas I need to have in order to get there, that I can't even see it yet. So it's almost pointless me even fantasizing or thinking about it, right? I just know that every little thing I do, every block I tackle, every skill set I build, person that I meet, business idea I have, every decision I make in my life moving forward now will get me close to that. And at one point, I'll then be able to see it, and then I can really focus on working at it. But right now I'm just working towards it. So it's all very well having the goal and having the drive and having the decision to get there, but it's more so just thinking about what's going to get you closer, what's going to get you the next step. That's what I need to focus on, and that's what, ultimately anybody that's trying to even hit their first million needs to focus on. That's why you need to stop focusing on chasing the short-term money, the quick wins, because they often don't happen, and you've got nothing to show for it. I had nothing to show for these, right, whatsoever. But when I started tackling this one, the agency, which ultimately was my first successful business, that's when I was able to think about things slightly differently. So I stopped thinking about the short term, and I started thinking long term, and I started thinking about the practical skills I needed that will serve me throughout my whole entrepreneurial journey. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. So one of those, and arguably I think the most important, and I'm biased because I have a product that I sell teaching people this, is sales. So I went away and I learned sales. And sales is one of the blocks I've really focused on. And because I went away and learned it, and because I now know how to sell, and I probably could be better at sales, and I can sell things for hundreds of thousands, but I can't sell things for millions. I can't sell a $100 million company yet. So I probably need to get better at it still, right? But I've learned sales, and I've almost learned it so much so that I've actually built a solid, one of the strongest bricks in my whole career. Like, I've built this up to the point where you cannot take that skill away from me. You cannot take what I learned and what I know about selling away from me, so much so that it's got, this indestructible obsidian cover around it, right? So that is a block that cannot be taken away from me and cannot be crushed like these other ones. I've also got, with scaling a business and owning a business, you're probably going to have to learn things like marketing, and then management, and then whatever. And all these blocks, you're making their skill sets that are so strong that you kind of can't take them away. And what I know now is, because I've learned these skills, and because they are strong, and because I've got such a strong foundation, that I've got myself to a certain level that every one of these blocks I've built so far, to a degree, has almost got its own foundation, right? This is my drawing of foundation. Has almost got its own legs that are super strong and reinforced. And this one might be sales, this one might be marketing, this one might be management, this one might be operations, this one might be creativity. Like, one of these is, even now, my YouTube channel. Got an audience here. That's pretty powerful. It's not very big, and I appreciate you watching, but it does count. So it's very hard for me to drop below a certain level, and this level probably right now isn't 250. It's lower than that, because there are certain things in my business that aren't rock solid and that could fall away, but there are certain things that are. So I don't know what that level is right now, but I know I'll never be back at zero, right? Because I've taken the time to build up these skills and build these foundations of them, that, I can't drop past that level. And that's why. But all of these, if you build a shaky business, and you say I did get here with Amazon, but it all fell away because it wasn't solid. So that's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on the skills. You need to focus on building up these things that are ultimately going to serve you in your business, your entrepreneurial journey, said it right that time, for your whole career, and not just on quick wins. And over time, as time progresses and you build on each of these blocks, you will get closer and closer and closer and closer to that million mark. Again, I don't know how long it's going to take you. It took me 5 years. It could take you 6 months. Could take you 5 years. But by following this plan and building enough boxes, before long, you will be at that million mark. And it really is that simple, right? If you focus on the long term, you focus on the skills, and you focus on just bettering yourself every single day. And again, it's not going to be easy. The method itself is easy. Actioning it, however, won't be. And you're going to doubt yourself. I doubt myself, not every day, but probably every week. But I just block those thoughts out because they do not serve me. They do not help me progress. And to be honest, that's a whole different video for a whole different day. But I'm simply just putting the time, energy, and effort into the activities that do serve me. And by following this simple framework, you're going to be making millions soon too.